Previously on the Beam Chronicles.
How old were you when Tanaka happened? An entire city annihilated without a trace or a purpose or a cause? Do you know how many died, Jaxon?
42,159.
It's estimated over 8 million are dead.
I'm so sorry.
The devil had the gall to apologize to me.
Jesus Christ!
Charlie gasped as I snapped Prophet's arm in half between the elbow and the shoulder, so drastically that it barely hung on.
Back when I started at Beam, Lane was nicer to me than basically all the other equalizers right off the bat. Probably before even I knew it, Lane Rector figured out that she should feel sorry for me.
You really did lose your power.
Yes, it is gone. I swear it. It's gone.
Finally, he sang, scanning across the barren wasteland that was once the capital.
These are the Beam Chronicles, with your host, MJ Dooney. Book 3, Cataclysm. Chapter 9, Cidney Kovorski.
Transmission terminated.
Play it again, Phil.
Charlie, you've seen it like 40 times. It's not gonna change.
Not requesting play it again. Now.
Her words were like venomous ice water, so lethally barren of anything but themselves. No emotion, but I suppose that void was always how Charlie expressed her heaviest emotions. And watching this video, the earpiece-mounted camera's account of Jaxon's cataclysmic eruption, I found myself too experiencing a range of feelings, yet each of them such an intense magnitude, I could not express any of them properly. Overwhelmingly, I did not believe nor understand the images I saw of him juggling Fisher in midair for several minutes, bashing him into buildings and the street. I was baffled as he landed, sobbing and begging for forgiveness most perplexingly, considering the callousness of his prior activity. When he finished him off, severed the brainstem, just like I had instructed him, I was blank. And when he utterly obliterated the capital with a strangely beautiful bellow, I was less than blank. One word was all he said once he had finished the slaughter of millions of people, and he said it in a voice that was surely not his own. Finally. Then he pulled out the camera, crushed it.
Transmission terminated.
And the video feed cut out.
Again.
Charlie.
Phil, again.
How could this have happened to Jaxon of all of us? How did we let it? How could he, Tanaka?
Ma'am, I have strict orders not to allow anyone in
Shove
this.
your strict orders, you little maggot. Don't you know who the hell you're talking to? I've been with Beam since you were a toddler. Get out of my way before I shoot you.
Lane Rector emphatically made her pugnacious presence known. Lane is fine, Jean. I called out to the poor young equalizer I had tasked with guarding the elevator entrance to Phil's lab to prevent intrusions as Beam agents from across the country funneled into HQ in the wake of Jaxon's meltdown. Thank you for your effort, but I fear no one can prevent her from entering a room once she has made it her intention.
Damn right, Big Purple.
She said, grasping my forearm as I grasped hers, Rector's famous alternative to a handshake.
Good seeing you again, though I can't say the circumstances are pleasant. Phil?
She nodded to my brother.
Lane?
My brother muttered with an anxious sort of respect.
And fuck me with a stick. The rumors are true. Back from the dead, eh, Shade? Hell, we got a shot at saving the world yet.
Charlie did not respond, but given the situation and Lane's famously high empathy, I wagered she understood why.
Anyway.
She turned her attention back to me.
What's going on, Cidney? I tried to ignore all the scuttlebutt on the rumor mill coming in, wanted to get the real story from you. Did Teak just lose it?
It appears that way. Maria Caraway was poisoned by Rick Fisher, the man who assassinated Clifton Hodge.
Caraway? Is she all right?
I am afraid not. She is dead, Lane. Rector somberly hung her head in reverence for a fallen friend. I thought perhaps she was praying, but she did not seem the religious type. If it was a prayer, it was quite a brisk one.
Tell me that bastard Fisher got his.
And then some.
Phil scoffed indelicately, tipping his head toward the video screen just as Jaxon began flailing Rick Fisher against the skyscrapers. Lane winced as she watched him slam into the pavement.
Ouch. Well, it's extreme, but serves the asshole right. Can't say I blame Jaxon going nuts over the guy who killed his wife.
I uneasily looked to Charlie, gauging her reaction. Still, there was none.
Yeah, so here's the part where I do object to his methods.
Lane commented just as Jaxon unleashed his shockwave, leveling the Capitol. Finally. It still sent shudders down my back.
Transmission terminated.
Christ. Poor guy.
She scoffed, shaking her head. Fisher?
No, of course not Fisher, Jaxon. It's a total calamity. The dude was just getting over Charlie dying. Now it turns out she's not dead. He gets what? A day to be happy about it? It's bullshit.
It was a really good day.
The first thing Charlie had said since Phil informed us of Jackson's rampage with any semblance of emotion in it. That emotion was a reminiscent fondness, blissful and so tragically distant, like it was unobtainable now, lost forever. It was worse than hearing her be sad. Either way, it all drained away when she spoke next.
Again.
He frowned, but reset the stream without audible protest.
So, what's the game plan, Cidney? Anything yet?
We are currently waiting on Murphy to fetch both Skeleton and Prophet from the dungeons.
Alright, first of all, did anyone tell Murphy's retired?
We certainly tried. I chuckled in spite of the dread and shadow in my soul.
And why is Prophet in the dungeons exactly?
That is a long story. We were about to begin the process of smearing his name. He seems to have lost his ability to contain any of us, and we wanted to make him as unpopular as he deserves to be before we killed him. Needless to say, this fiasco derails those plans, but at least this way we have him on hand.
So we can beat it out of him. The containment method he used to have on Teak, try to replicate it, calm the sucker down before he blows up the planet.
I nodded, something to that effect. Rector shrugged, sniffed audibly.
Not the worst plan, given the circumstances. By the way, I just got off the phone with Mathis and Sparks. They were in Jersey gambling and drinking, but they hopped the first chopper I could get sent to them. They should be here in just a few minutes. Not that either will do much more than distract us, especially drunk.
Perhaps in a time like this, a distraction is the best thing we could ask for. When Rector smiled, the corners of her eyes wrinkled, and it made her seem more motherly and sweet than she really was. Still, it was a warm and pleasant sight, appreciated in such a rough time.
Madman does nothing better than provide distractions.
By the way, what are you doing in the Capitol? I abruptly changed the subject, eager to keep the conversation going just to fill the air and distract me from the video Charlie was still watching on repeat.
Murphy's party, duh.
I nodded. Hard to believe it was only a week and a half ago that we were all sitting around that fire in the park, joyously reminiscing, with Maria and Jaxon, without Charlie. How much had changed, and so quickly.
Figured I'd just finish out the year here, actually, get my capital duty done. Didn't anticipate a debacle like this, obviously, but good thing I'm around, right?
Your experience may very well come in handy, especially if... But my sentiments were interrupted by the elevator door opening. Jean stepped up momentarily to prevent them from joining us, but even a young equalizer like her recognized Murphy and Howard Prophet by their faces. Enzo Skeleton scuttled in behind them, practically invisible, hustling across the lap to sit beside Phil. What took you so long, Murphy?
Give me a break, Sid. He wasn't even down there. He was in medical. Apparently, Jaxon ripped his goddamn arm off shortly before going to Naka. Didn't you count that as maybe a warning sign that he was a bit out of whack before you sent him alone to murder Fisher?
I had no idea, Murphy, honestly. When he talked to Howie in the dungeons, he was with I elected not to finish that thought. It was possibly the worst time for me to insinuate any blame for this fell onto her, for not reading the situation well enough. Truly, if anyone was at fault for not seeing this coming, it was me. I had spoken to him last immediately before he departed, and he seemed perfectly fine, level-headed, perhaps even conflicted. He was my brother to the letter. I would not have predicted this in a century.
Rector?
Murphy nodded to Lane, graciously ignoring my refusal to accuse Charlie of missing the signals.
Murph, how's retirement?
Really not all it's cracked up to be, but it doesn't help when I'm coming to work a week into it. Hard to stay away, I guess.
Is there a reason I was brought up here?
Howie spoke with a selfish impatience, utterly unsuited to the situation and his role within it. I quickly glanced around to judge if anyone was more apt to answer his question than I was, because I would gladly allow them to do so. Lane simply scoffed, folded her arms, spun away, while Murphy furiously rustled his mustache, quaking from head to foot. Enzo, who had quite little business in any of this, sheepishly rubbed his feet together, and Phil shook his head at me, mouth agape in disbelief. The last chance for a substitute was Charlie, and while she did not move from her position in front of Phil's computer, watching the video of Jaxon destroying the Capitol, I could judge her unbridled rage by the white in her knuckles as she clenched both hands into the tightest of fists. It seemed to be my responsibility to fill him in. Very well, I would do it. For her, if for no other reason. Jaxon has lost control of his abilities, Prophet. He has wrecked the Capitol. His expression and body language immediately adjusted to more appropriate and somber given the news. Prophet took an audible breath, licked his lips, ran his fingers over his goatee with the hand not bound in a sling.
When you say wrecked,
it is gone. Reduced to gravel. Not a trace of civilization. There is no use pulling punches. The blunter I was, the less I had to speak with Prophet. We need to contain him, at least until we figure out what's going on and how we may help him.
Or kill him.
Howie involuntarily snorted under his breath, scarcely audible, but he probably should have tried to lower the volume even slightly more, as the comment finally inspired Charlie to move. She spun around in her chair, leering at him with a fiery intensity that made me sweat, seeing it from a sideways angle. Howie gulped so hard I thought he might have swallowed his own tongue. Regardless, I intervened before she could react. I need you to tell us how you contained Jaxon all of these years.
I told you already, Cidney. That power has been lost.
Yes, I am aware, but if there is a chance that whatever it was you used could facilitate our efforts against him...
There is no chance. The power is gone. I would have brought it back yesterday if I could have.
That is all well and good, Prophet. Tell me what it is in any case. Perhaps knowing how you managed to contain him will allow us to construct a new similar method.
It won't.
Howie, please.
I'm not telling you.
Try to help us for once in your life. I yelled it so loud it reverberated off the walls of Phil's lab, and so suddenly it made everyone jump, save Charlie, still engaged in her blood-curdling death stare. It was likely the combination of us both threatening him at once that pressed him into expressing some humility at all.
It's not that I don't want to help you. I do. Obviously, I don't want the world to be destroyed, but if I do it, if I tell you, then it will surely be gone forever. The containment method. It was entrusted to me by an outside source, and if I keep it a secret, it may yet come back to me. The only chance we have of taking advantage of it is to keep it clandestine. And either way, it's unlikely. To rely on it as a solution, or even a key piece of a solution, would be foolish. We need to find some other way to end Jaxon's apocalypse.
Whoa. Hold the fucking... Jaxon's apocalypse.
She rose to her feet, shivering with rage.
Did you seriously call this Jaxon's apocalypse?
Charlie, my dear, do not. I could not stop her. Nothing could have. She grouped across the room to Howie, scarcely on his feet, arm hanging in a sling, and she belted him across the face with an audible grunt. A spurt of blood and a feeble yelp flew out of Prophet's mouth as he crumpled to the ground, and she stood over him, shoulders heaving up and down, panting in unrestrained fury.
Shade easy, all right?
Murphy stepped forward. She responded by drawing Guillermo from her hip, rotating him through a wide angle just so the aim would sweep past Murphy on its way to Howie, without her having to stop and explicitly point it directly toward him. Murph took the message, retreated as she finished the motion, extending her gun firmly at Prophet's face, trembling and bleeding on the floor.
Listen to me. You fucking son of a bitch, even in private, even in your own fucking head. Don't you dare pin this on Jaxon. This is your apocalypse, 100%. And the next few days are going to be a whirlwind. I'm sure you'll be incredibly busy too, because let's face it, your ass is right on the line with the rest of us. But through it all, I want you to take a minute, just a minute, every once in a while to pause, look around you at all the death and the carnage and the mayhem. I want you to just take a minute and watch mankind unraveling, and I want you in that minute to remember this is your fault. Every drop of blood spilled is on your hands. Every single drop. I don't want you to forget, Prophet. Don't forget to enjoy the apocalypse you worked so hard to create for so many years.
She kicked him in the stomach, and then again across the mouth. He writhed around, clutching his gut and moaning, and she spoke again.
I don't care what the fuck kind of mystical cavalry you may have in your back pocket to call upon. If the whimsy of the universe falls into line, I'll sacrifice the chance at it coming through to avoid hearing your voice one more time. If you ever speak to me again, I'll kill you.
Howie glanced up at her like a terrified wounded animal in a trap and nodded solemnly. She holstered her gun, spun on her heels, and paced up to Murphy, throwing her arms around his neck.
Sorry, Murph.
I know, honey.
She grouped back into her chair behind Phil's computer.
Play it again.
He briskly reset it, this time without any form of complaint.
So,
Murphy rustled his mustache and hiked up his trousers.
Anyhow, how are you holding up, Sid?
I am concerned for Charlie, I said softly so she would not hear. That there, her lashing out at Howie, that was the first time she has paused in watching the video on repeat for several hours. Even now, she is right back into it.
Sid, where the hell in that question did I ask you anything about Charlie?
She needs your concern more than I do, Murphy.
Don't matter, I'll get to her in a minute. It's been a completely bananas day for you. Charlie's alive, Maria's dead, Jackson's Tanaka. Answer the freaking question. How are you holding up?
I did not want to answer with her so precariously on the edge. But perhaps I could admit it only to Murphy and Lane. I am dreadful. Watching him do it, annihilate the capital over and over, after everything I have done to keep him balanced and alive, my heart is torn asunder. Hell, I may have no heart. Not any longer. And I had not yet even grieved the loss of Maria, but none of that matters. I choose to put that and everything aside for now. For Charlie. She needs me now. She is all that counts.
Jesus. If I had you the way the two of them have you, I'd throw you a parade every Tuesday, Purple.
You do not understand. They have done more for me than I could ever do for them, Rector. They make me whole.
Did I not tell you?
Peter Cranston's unmissable high-pitched voice rang into the lab as the doors opened once again, dashing my sentimental expression cold.
Did I not tell you? Keeping anomalies in our ranks would only lead to chaos and destruction. Did I not tell you?
Sir, you aren't allowed to go in here without permission from Mr. Kovorski.
Jean informed him. She may have saved his life by standing between him and the entrance, as just about all of us were prepared to knock his teeth in. Only Enzo and Phil, due to their powerlessness, and Charlie, due to her distraction, did not step forward to strike him upon his dramatic interruption.
Do you know who I am, beautiful? I'm the Secretary of Anomalistic Affairs, and as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Kovorski should be in prison at this point.
The whole while he spoke, he glanced her up and down like a piece of meat, and Jean uncomfortably blushed. She was far too sweet to tell him off after he threw a rank in her face, but I was not about to stand by and let him harass her. Cranston promised to be a thorn throughout this ordeal if I did not handle him immediately and lastingly. Incidentally, he had given me an idea of how to prevent him from getting involved excessively. Jean, please call your men up here. Have them arrest this man on anomalistic suspicion.
Yes, sir.
Nice try, Sid. If anyone's getting arrested around here...
As an agent of Ava, I cannot be held accountable for my anomalistic capacities. I cut his protest short and began to layer on beam protocol. But you are a known and close associate of a previously arrested anomaly and a private citizen. As such, and without additional evidence, I am entitled to hold you for 48 hours observation by the Research and Technology Department to confirm or deny your own anomalistic capacities, which means you are prohibited by law from leaving this room at the cost of equalization.
Wait just a damned minute. I sure as heck am no associate of any anomalies, at least not outside of this room.
Incidentally, your associate is in this room. Peter cocked an eyebrow, then took a quick visual survey from me to Lane to Murphy to Phil to...
Hold up. Is that... It can't be Charlie. Charlie Shade. Well, I'll be damned. Back from the dead, eh, pretty lady? Hey, that explains Jackson's little tantrum over inflated girlfriend drama. Let me guess, did you tell him you weren't into screwing married men, or more likely that you were, and... Ah!
Without glancing up from her screen, without flinching, Charlie pulled Guillermo out of his holster and aimed over her shoulder at Peter. Her accuracy, utilizing only the sixth sense, was impeccable, and she shot the imbecile just so the bullet grazed his face.
Oh.
In fear and with a pathetic whine, he crumbled to the ground, covering his head. And it took the act of physical collapse right beside Prophet, still lingering down there from Charlie's last violent outburst, for Peter to realize who his anomalistic associate was. Cranston gaped at Howie, snarling and cradling his barely connected arm, and utterly struck with awe, eventually spoke.
You gotta be joking, right? This can't be real. Did you seriously bust the President of the United States during the biggest Tanaka event since literal fucking Tanaka? No, wait, bigger. He killed 8 million people today in the Capitol alone. Let that number sink in. 8 million. That's 200 Tanakas, and you morons are focusing on your pissy little vendettas against the only person who could...
Peter, shut the hell up for once in your sniveling, worthless life.
Howie cut him off most surprisingly.
The last thing anyone here wants to listen to in times like this is your unsubstantiated swagger and blatant bigotry against the very people who reluctantly made you what you are.
But sir, you're the president of...
I know who I am. And whatever comeuppance I receive through this ordeal will pale in comparison to the comeuppance I am owed. The fact is, right now, Charlie and Cidney are the only people on the planet who can save it, not me. And if you have nothing constructive to add to their effort, keep your smug, insignificant lips pressed together. That should be easy for you. Imagine my ass is in front of them.
Lane and Murphy chuckled as Peter crossed his arms and pouted on the floor. I could not bring myself to laugh. Not at Howard Prophet's joke, but perhaps I inadvertently smiled. It was nice to have someone else to shut Peter up, and surely he would listen to Howie above anyone else.
Any update on Jaxon, by the way?
Murphy asked with a heavy sigh.
I had my earpiece tuned into Maria's channel so I can get all the reports of activity, but it's basically utter pandemonium right now. I can't take anything out of the madness. I heard he was attacking the Pentagon.
I've been sixing. The Pentagon is gone.
Charlie muttered half-heartedly through her fingers, fervently studying the video she was watching for the several hundredth time.
Wait, Jaxon blew up the Pentagon?
No, that's not what I said. I said the Pentagon is gone. This guy is targeting military facilities hardcore. I don't know how he knows where they're at. It must be a government person because he's hitting highly classified stuff according to...
Wait, hold up. Sorry, I'm lost. Who are we talking about here?
The guy who's controlling Jackson's body right now.
Oh no, Charlie.
He palmed his forehead, so sorrowful and sympathetic.
You think
I don't think anything, Murphy.
She bluntly cut off his pity before it could fully evolve.
It's not Jaxon. I'll prove it. Phil, pause. Go back like 3 seconds.
And Phil confoundedly tracked backward through the stream.
Okay, perfect. Right there. You guys notice anything?
Lane, Murphy, and I headed over to the computer and clustered around it closely, peering at the image she had frozen upon it. It was Jaxon, mere seconds before he crushed his earpiece, thus cutting the video. Somehow, in the process of doing so, yanking it from his ear and smashing it telekinetically, the camera spun around just momentarily enough to catch a flimsy glimpse of his face. Stretched across it was a wicked grin that ran contrary to everything I knew about Jaxon, and certainly I had to take a second, deeper look to convince myself it was actually him. But I did convince myself. I could not determine what it was Charlie wanted me to see, but judging by the way she eagerly bit her thumbnail, clearly I was missing something.
watched this whole video 50 times looking for a better shot of it, or a reflection off something, a window, whatever, but this is it. The best look we got.
Best look at what, my dear?
Sid, come on, his eyes.
She was right. Perhaps this was the reason it was so challenging to convince myself at first glance that this man was Jaxon. His eyes were blue, which was abnormal enough already, but the particular shade was quite extraordinary. Almost a cyan or a turquoise, gem-like, almost as if they were glowing. Still, it was difficult to distinguish. The image of frozen frame of a low-quality video was blurry and distorted. Unreliable as a source, it did very little to inspire me to believe Charlie's theory that someone else was manipulating Jaxon's body. I was about to break that news to her, but then I looked at her face. The excitement in her own icy blue eyes crippled me. I could not deny her the promise of a chance, even if it was a fleeting one at best. I would not dare it. Blue.
Right. Fucking blue.
Are they, normally not blue?
Lane asked, squinting at the picture, unconvinced.
I'm pretty damn sure of what color Jaxon Teague's eyes are, Rector.
Charlie sneered with unnecessarily high scorn.
And you sure it's not just a trick of the light or something? It's kind of a crappy picture.
Well, I told you I'd look for a better one.
She grumbled, but then was struck with a sudden optimism.
Actually, hey, hold on a second. I'll just go look at him.
No, Charlie, bad idea.
Murphy objected, but he could not prevent her from grouping away. It was an utterly agonizing 3 seconds contemplating this monster who callously slaughtered 8 million in the capital on a whim and was rampaging military bases. What unspeakable horror he could commit against the most important person I had left. Losing her again so soon after I had gotten her back, so soon after I had lost Jaxon and Maria, would be pure agony. To the relief of my paralyzed heart, she returned, beaming ear to ear.
Blue, 100%. All right?
Well, that's interesting, Shade.
Murphy carefully patronized her.
I'm not sure if it means anything more than he's just undergoing some extreme sort of transformation.
Jaxon doesn't have blue eyes, Murphy. It's not him.
Charlie, be reasonable, okay? I know a guy in a steel catacomb who doesn't have blue skin, but that changes when he takes a bath.
Don't compare Jaxon to Phone.
I'm not. I'm just making a point. I think we need more evidence to go on before we start assuming mind control is the culprit.
Yes, because mind control is the silliest thing possible.
She derided, snatching a pencil off the desk and demonstratively ungrouping it.
Shada, I'm kinda with Murph on this. I mean, on top of the fact that it's flimsy.
You know what eye-taking is?
Charlie blurted, ignoring their protests, and to make matters all the worse, from my guilty burning heart, she frantically directed it straight at me, pleading me to support her in spite of my shared hesitance.
The name is goofy, I'm the first to admit it, but he's talked about it, right? While I was gone, he told you about eye-taking, yeah?
I nodded, because he had, but I could not bring myself to do more than nod in the face of her urgent interrogation.
He didn't do it to me. When I grouped just now to look at his eyes, I lingered for a second just to see if he would, and he didn't, Cidney. Not even a little bit. Tell me that's not damning evidence.
Why did she have to give me this face? Why did she have to remind me in this heavy, complicated moment of how tragic and ruinous her life was? How could I contribute to that ruin further? If I could spare her the despair for a second. It is damning, my dear. Her shadowy, empty, yet beautiful face lit up. It was no question I would gladly be her hollow, uninspired ally in this fight, even if I did not believe in her cause. Maybe I just wanted to believe it. And maybe I just loved her that much.
Did she say pie cheeking? What the heck is that?
Murphy asked. I was rapidly growing fed up with everyone in the room looking to me. Jaxon described the phenomenon to me multiple times during the last year or so of his rehabilitation. It seems he has a tendency to engulf Charlie in telekinetic warmth the instant they are in the same room. He does it subconsciously, without even awareness that he is doing it from the instant that he is in her presence.
So you think the fact he isn't doing that right now, it means that...
Yes, I lied. But the next thing I said was perfect truth. For Jaxon, not eye-taking Charlie is tantamount to not breathing.
It's not him.
Charlie positively asserted, backed by my stalwart insistence.
I'm sorry, just...
Peter, across the lab, stumbled to his feet and began walking toward us, shutting his eyes and shaking his head.
Just to make sure I'm getting it here, because I feel like I'm losing my fucking mind sitting here listening to this insanity while the whole world is on fire. This guy, who looks like Jaxon. He's wearing Jaxon's clothes, plus his hair and his face and his entire fucking body. This guy who was exactly where you knew Jaxon was going, did exactly what you knew he was going to do. This guy, you're telling me this guy is not Jaxon because his eyes are blue and he's not jacking you off psychically.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Fuck no. See, I'll say what everyone else is thinking. You just want that to be the case because you can't stand the idea that your boyfriend is precisely the drunk, dangerous lunatic I've been warning Prophet about for months. And I'm not indulging in this girlish fantasy with...
Not your call, Pete.
Oh, I think it is.
Cidney?
I was not expecting to be dragged into the middle of this particular scuffle, nor understood why mine was the expertise sought out, but suddenly, everyone in the room, Charlie Murphy, Lane Rector, Peter, Enzo Skelton, Phil, even Howard Prophet, was watching me yet again, waiting for me to give my judgment on the issue. For the life of me, I could not decipher why, so I asked directly, "Why is it my call?"
You're in charge, boss.
What? No, Murphy, you are surely the most qualified.
Retired, big guy, chain of command. Jackson's predisposed. Maria's gone. That's 1 and 2. You're third.
Who is fourth?
That would be me. One of the duties as Secretary of Anomalistic Affairs. So if you'd like to relinquish, I'd gladly...
I can appoint a successor. Lane, can you take control?
I mean, not efficiently. I don't know everyone here the way you do, buddy. Besides, if we start shuffling up the preset structure of this place, everything will crumble. We need order to overcome crisis. People need to know who to follow. Rules dictate that it's your show. I'm not ignoring that. Possibly jacking up the bit of organization we got left.
I am too close to the issue at hand. My decisions will be clouded. I cannot be relied upon to make them objectively.
We're all too close, Sid.
Hey, I'm not. Granted, don't count on me for objectivity, but at least I don't have my head so far up the guy's ass I can't see when he's destroying the planet.
It was half the key to me accepting my role, spiting Peter and his backhanded, thinly veiled assessment of my loyalty to Jaxon. The other half was the way Charlie in that moment reached out and so uncharacteristically gently took my hand. The way she looked at me with sorrowful hope in her eyes when I glanced down to her, pleading me to accept this leadership, and I knew why. I was the only one who would look out for Jackson's well-being above that of the whole world. Not Lane, maybe not even Murphy, could do for her and do for Jaxon what I was willing to do and what she needed me to do. I would forfeit creation entirely to save either of them. Charlie and I will be the first wave, I finally asserted. Before we take any other action, we will test her theory of mental manipulation, alone. She can group me to him fast enough that we can assess and return with that assessment. Peter sighed, interlacing his hands atop his head and trying to speak calmly, appeal to my rational side.
I think it would be a good idea to take some form of equalizer team with you in case something goes...
No. First of all, you are a prisoner and I hate you. Your opinions are less than worthless to me. Second, in his current state, numbers are pointless. He is too powerful. We need a gambit. Charlie cannot be hit. I am invincible. We are the only people safe to get close enough to gather intel. In the meanwhile, Phil, take Enzo and pour through Jackson's file. See if there is any instance of his Tikik interaction being ineffective.
Water.
Charlie softly reminded me. It was true, Tyler Foon's hydrokinesis was untouchable by Jackson's telekinesis, but I dismissed it the moment I heard it. He was the last man I would trust with anything, least of all the fate of my family. Anything but that, I grumbled, and Charlie twitched a smirk.
Sure thing, bro.
Murphy, Lane, keep the troops organized as they file in, brief them on the situation in large groups, and when Mathis and Sparks arrive, get them to assist.
What exactly should we tell them, Cidney?
For now, tell them what we know. Jaxon Teague's mind has been compromised either by himself or something worse. And the world is in peril for it.
Thank you for listening to the Beam Chronicles, a fiction podcast written and produced by me, MJ Dooney. I gotta say this stuff. Calls to action. Help me grow. Help me get my story out there. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter. 5 stars on Spotify and or Apple Podcasts. You can email me, beamchronicles@gmail.com. You can send me money, buymeacoffee.com/beamcroniv, or click the support the show link in the episode description. Okay, today, as I record this, the show has exactly 10,000 downloads. It's a pretty powerful benchmark to clear, and I'm so grateful and excited to have cleared it. Thank you for your part. I think the next big milestone I'll hit is 75 episodes. That one kind of happens regardless of all of you, but if you know anyone in your life who might like this story, please share. I think 10,000 downloads is worthy of a little philosophical analysis, so here it goes. I am just one guy fulfilling a promise I made to myself when I was an idiot kid that however my life shook out, this story would be something I worked on and tried my best to share with as many people as I could. I'm no idealistic 20-something with his head in the clouds anymore, imagining this as a Netflix show or whatever, but I still dare to dream I can tell my story to as many people as I can. This particular medium seems to have done the best at actually parsing the void that I talk about so much of any of them that I've tried, so if this is something that you're enjoying, know you're appreciated at a level you can't really get until you try to make something yourself. So thank you. All music and sound effects were sourced from the Epidemic Sound Library. Special thanks to Sergio Duarte for creating the cover art for the show. Thanks again for listening.